Okay, all right, all right, all right. So, and so on, and so forth. So, as you all see, um, this is me just messing around with the major scales. The previous scales I just played are all major scales. Now, what sense am I trying to prove? We are talking about mastery of all 12 keys. So, many people who play the piano today, a majority are scared of carrying the 12 key culture along. I mean, mastering all 12 keys. You see lots of pianists who are good, who are professionals. Most of them are only good in a few keys. I'm not trying to condemn that. Actually, it's never a crime to play two keys out of 12 keys, or to play three keys out of 12 keys, or to play only one key out of 12 keys. It's never a crime. It does not mean you won't get good. But you see, if you are a pianist, a musician who is aspiring to get to the top, when I'm talking about the top, I'm talking about transcending, I mean, growing from your level to a level that will make you very popular, that will make you known, working with lots of world-class artists, playing in world-class stages, and the rest of them. You cannot escape the mastery of 12 keys. It's a fate that every person under this category that I just described must face. It's a fate. We all know what a fate means, right? That thing that you can never escape from. So if you are a kind of musician who is aspiring in that direction, my dear, you must learn all 12 keys. You must. Now, let me say something very important. You see, it's in life. They say slow and steady always win the race. It's a natural phenomenon. There's no controversy about that. Slow and steady. I would suggest we musicians, I mean those who are aspiring to, I mean, head towards such direction, to make such height, I would encourage us to, to take it slow. It's not rush. Yes, of course, the stress, the struggle that comes from, I mean, mastering 12 keys is not an easy one. I faced that. I mean, there was a time I was discouraged. But I had no choice, because I was eyeing something. There was a particular height towards which I was eyeing. And so I had to, I mean, make sure that I come to terms with this system, with that practice. I kept on, no matter how boring it was. I kept on practicing the major scales for all 12 keys. Now, as long as you want to go to the top, you have to learn all 12 keys. You have to master all 12 keys. Now, slow and steady is the secret. Yes, there are most of us right now who transpose but are very good. And it happened to be that going back to begin to practice major scales of 12 keys, when you are supposed to practice those riffs and runs, when you are supposed to practice those difficult stuffs that will make you good, there are most of us that would think that will take it like a kind of backwardness. No, it's not backwardness. Please, if you are under this category of musician who is fond of transposing, who transpose, but you have that eye, you have an eye for the top, you aspire to get to the top, to play in world-class stages, to work with big artists, because of a truth. Now, let me deviate a little. There are some kinds of artists you can't even work with if you don't know 12 keys. Generally speaking, there are some kinds of artists you cannot work with. There are some kind of songs you cannot play. That's the gospel truth if you don't know 12 keys. Are you talking about, let's say, titribet, that has lots of modulations? Okay, we all know that there are some modulations you can just play +1 and just maneuver with transpose. But how about those modulations that comes from, transiting from tonality to tonality? Those modulations that involves transition in tonality, those modulations that involve lots of modal interchange from the present key to the newly established key. How about such modulations? You can't, achieve that with transpose. So I suggest, if you are a musician, unless you are a musician who's just playing the piano for fun, you just want to do the music for fun, or you just want to help your church, so that space won't be empty, you are not thinking beyond that region, beyond that territory, then you are free to, there's no crime, like I said before, you are free to play with the transpose. But as long as you want to go far, you want to go professional, you want to be recognized as a world class, my dear, the fate of 12 keys is your portion. You can't run away from it. Yes. And so, as a result of this, as to this course, I came to understand that the mastery of 12 keys, especially when it comes to understanding the major scales for all keys, it's a very challenging one. It's very, very difficult. And so I came up with a formula. Most of us who are into the line, who are pianists, musicians already in the line, or transpose, may understand what I'm saying. Those musicians those keyboardists who are good, but they are not good with 12 keys. This is for you, actually. This is for you. Now, also, even though you are a beginner, you are still on the level of major scale practice. You are still within that level. You can also benefit from this video. Now, I came up with a formula to master all 12 keys. Now, as we all know, from our early days, or those who are in our early days, we all know that most of us will begin from the key of C, or any key, to practice. And then we are all aware of the tune-tune semitone formula, right? Tune-tune semitone, tune-tune semitone, the formula for deriving the major scale for any key. But it happens to be that during our time of practice, during the course of our practice journey, we begin to get discouraged as regards to practicing certain keys and their major scales. Why? Because the structure, the arrangement of these keys don't tend to be friendly with our fingers, with our finger muscles, and our feeling, our vibes. And so we get discouraged. This is one major problem with musicians, which prevents them from practicing all 12 keys, and hence making transpose their friend. And so as to this course, with respect to this major problem that musicians face as regards to key structure, I derived a formula for learning all 12 keys. Now, of course, most of us will learn, for example, we take the key of C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Now, and after rehearsing the C major scale, we could go to C sharp, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And then we go to D, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Right? Now, if we follow this system, rehearsing keys one after the other, let's say chromatically, it could get frustrating. Because imagine you practicing the C major scale, let's say as a beginner, and let's say you do this for 1 week or a couple of 2 weeks based on how you could, the time required for the scale to get into you, to be installed in your memory, so that you can freely run ascend and descend. And then after studying this C structure, you move over to a key like C sharp, and you realize that everything just changes. The structure, the key arrangements, black keys here and there, white keys, going up, going down unexpectedly. And hence, you now begin to develop this disregard, this uncommon hatred for the key of C sharp or any of those black keys. It's discouraging, and it's a very big obstacle towards our progress in learning all keys. And so I will give us this formula. That is why I really did make this video. I will give us this formula for learning all 12 keys. Now, let us say we started learning from the key of C. The first major scale we learned on piano was the key of C, right? Let us take that as an example, as an instance. Now, after learning the C major scale, I would like us to move a perfect fifth upwards. That's the formula. Instead of learning the major scale, through chromatics, let's say C, you go learn C sharp. After C sharp, you go to learn D. After D, you go to learn D sharp. Or learning them at random, C, you go to learn E flat, you go to learn A flat, and the rest of them. How about you learn them in a circle of fifth arrangement manner? Now, to the musicians who are already keyboardists but who transpose, you will understand what I mean by the circle of fifth, right? I mean my intermediate guys, my intermediate pianists who still transpose. You will understand what I mean by the circle of fifth, right? The great circle that connects all keys together in an interval of fifths. I don't need to explain that. Now, to the beginners who are still on the finger training level, who are still training, still struggling with mastering the major scale, I wouldn't use that terminology for you. Instead of circle of fifth, understand it as moving an interval of a fifth. Yes, you should be. If you studied your piano very well, you should understand what I mean by interval of a fifth. The interval of a fifth from C is G, which is the saw. Let me try to be more primitive. Which is the saw of C, the saw of C, or call it the 5 for our Gen Zs. Call it the 5 of C, the 5 of C. So the 5 of C is G. Now, how do we apply this formula? After learning the C major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Instead of working at random to learn other keys or choosing any keys according to the spirit leads, why not go to the 5 and learn the major scale of that key that represents the 5 of C? Now, look at what I mean. This is C, right? Now, after you must have gotten a bit acquainted with the C major scale, you've understood its structure, you are now a bit comfortable, and you want to move to learn the major scale of another key, go to the 5 of that key, whose major scale you have just mastered or you are just beginning to master. Go to the 5, and now run it, play the same notes of that key, except that when you get to the 7th, you move a full tune. Are you getting me? Now let's look. Remember the C major scale are all white keys, right? And as at that point in time, you have already mastered the notes and their positions. You have already known that Mi, which is the 3 of C, is after Re, which is the 2 of C, right? You've already mastered the scale structure. Now, what I'm saying is what? Go to the 5 of C, which is G. G is the 5 of C, right? Go to the 5 of C, play that C major scale. Just continue that follow the C major scale trend. C major scale is the scale we just recently mastered, or we are just recently beginning to master, and we want to now go to another new key. Understand what I'm saying? Go to the key of G. Now still play that C major scale starting from G, except that when you get to the 7th of G, you move a full tune. So what am I trying to say? You move a full tune, and then you come back to G, which is a semitone. So what am I trying to say? We are now trying to study the major scale of the new key with respect to the major scale of the previous key in which we have mastered. So now, why is this formula important? The formula is important and very helpful to us because it now saves us the stress of tune, tune, semitone, and it helps us now to master the new key, because the structure of the new key is almost the same as the structure of the previous key in which we have mastered. Am I making sense? It helps us to study the new key because the structure of that key is almost the same with the structure of the previous key in which we have mastered. So that is why I call it the circle of fifth formula, or the 5 formula. Am I making sense? We just mastered the key of C in the first place, right? And then we want to study another new key. With our knowledge of the mastery of the key of C, we went to the 5 of key of C and still played the C major scale. Except that when we get to the 7th, we move a whole tune and then down a semitone. Are you seeing it now? So we move from G, we are playing the same notes belonging to C. By doing so, you have played the G major scale, right? You have gotten the G major scale, and there is no way that this scale now will be difficult for you, because its structure is almost same as the key of C, except that at the 7th degree of the scale, which is G, it has a black note, unlike C. So you see, the formula will work well for you because it helps you to get used to the new key with respect to the strength, the mastery, the knowledge, the recognition you have gotten from the previous key. Now let us proceed. Now, we have mastered the key of C in the first place. We have mastered the key of G with respect to C. Now, if we want to proceed to learn another key, what key now do we learn? What key? We have to go to the 5 of G. Now, which key represents the 5 of G? D. Are you seeing it? Now, let us still play that G major scale. Let us follow the trend. Let's follow the trend. You understand me now? So the difference between we will realize that if we follow the formula, the difference between the new key we are learning and the previous key is the 7th. You see, our problems, our struggles are now being reduced than when we were just learning the keys at random, trying to understand. Can you imagine the frustration? Just imagine the frustration learning the key of C as a beginner, and then we just move to learn the key of F sharp, or we just move to learn the key of E flat, or we just move to learn A or E. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's frustrating because the structure, everything, our mental orientation in key structure will have to change. So, but if we follow this system of follow the trend formula, like I call it, or the 5 formula, we realize that it looks like we are being connected at the end of the day. Why? Because what's the new keys that are being succeeded, the keys succeeding the previous key are almost similar to the keys in which they succeed. Am I making sense? So after we have mastered the key of G previously, right? With respect to our mastery from C. Now we have to go to the 5 of G. That should be the next key we should learn. So after mastering C, we go to G. After mastering G, we go to D. Are you seeing how it goes? We now play D. We will realize that D is almost the same as G major scale, except with a difference in the 7th degree of the scale. Now, look at it. I seen it. All these notes belonged to the G major scale when we were practicing G, right? Except for the 7th. So it's our duty now to feature out the 7th. Are you getting me now? The 7th, still always a full tune. Or we should say the 7th is always a semitone backward from the home note, right? From the home note. Always a semitone backward from the home note. Or always a full tune when ascending. Are you seeing it? A full tune from the 6th. So now after D, what's the next key we have to learn? I believe you should know that. Applying the follow the trend formula, or the perfect fifth formula, or the circle of fifth formula. What's the next key? The next key is what? A. A. Why is it A? Because A is the 5 of D. Are you seeing it? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you seeing it now? So A is the 5 of D. So we'll go to learn A. Look at A. So I seen it now. So at the end of the day, you realize that A still takes the same structure as D, except for the 7th. So the only difference now, when we are using this formula, the only difference between the previous key and the newly established key is the 7th. They only differ from themselves by the 7th. The rest are almost the same. So please, that's one formula I would like us to adopt. Call it the follow the trend formula. Follow the trend formula. That's what I call it. But most of us who are, like I said before, most of us who are already professionals, who are good in our craft, but are still transposers, could understand the formula as a perfect fifth formula. Yeah, please, if you are a kind of musician who is already good in his craft, you sound well, you play good song, you've developed in your sound, you're already advanced, but you are still struggling with transpose, please, this video is important for you. This formula will now help you to master those keys. All you have to do is what? Those keys, those few keys you have mastered, start learning new keys from their 5. Go to the 5 of that key you are conversant with and learn the key, the major scale of that key. After mastering the major scale of that key, go to the 5 of that recent key you've just learned and master the major scale also of that one. So just follow that trend. Follow that trend. Before you know it, you get round all 12 keys. Are you seeing it? Now let me show you how they connect before I end my video. Let me show you, because most of us could be thinking, how are we able to study all 12 keys? It's only those that understand the circle of fifth that will know that with this formula you could master all 12 keys, because the circle of fifth is a great circle that connects all 12 keys. But for beginners, let me show you now. We all know we have 12 keys in music, right? C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or G flat, A sharp or or B flat, and then B, C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E sharp or F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, and B, right? So all together we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Am I correct? 12, right? Now, in order to make use of the follow the trend formula to understand all 12 keys. Now, how do we move? Remember we started from C, right? I see me now. Now let me go go to the 5 of C. Let's say I have mastered C. Let me go to the 5 of C and study the major scale of that key, representing the 5 of C. Are you seeing it now? Now, that is G, right? Now, let me go to let's say I have mastered G during my course. Let's say in a couple of weeks, I have mastered G. Let me go to the 5 of G now and play the major scale because I want to learn a new key. I go, what key represents 5 of G? D, right? Are you seeing it now? I have mastered D. You see it? I follow the G trend now to master D. Are you seeing it now? That's why I call it the follow the trend formula. I followed the G trend to master D, right? Now, after mastering D, let's say in a couple of weeks, and then I want to go over to a new key. What do? I go to the 5 of D, right? What key represents 5 of D? A. A, right? We are on A. Now, let's follow the trend. Let's apply follow the trend formula. Are you seeing it now? Now, let's say in a couple of weeks, I have mastered A based on how I rehearsed, right? After mastering A, I want to go to a new key. Please be counting them. I hope you are seeing how the numbers. Now, after mastering A, we want to go to a new key. What key represents the 5 of A? Is E, right? Now, while on E, let's apply follow the trend formula. Are you seeing it now? You see that almost all the notes of A came into play, except for the 7th. Remember that the 7th will always be different. Now, let's say in a couple of weeks, we've mastered E. Let's apply the follow the trend formula now to learn the new key. What key represents the 5 of E? B, right? Let's go. Are you seeing it now? See the number counting. You see, we have learned almost, we are close to some keys now. We are close to, I think, 4 or 5 keys. Now, let's keep on. We want to get all 12 keys, right? I'm showing you how the formula can help us to master 12 keys. Now, after mastering B in our couple of weeks, based on practice, consistency, remember, which is very important, let's go to the 5 of B and learn the new key there. What key represents 5 of B? F sharp, right? Now, let's follow the trend. Let's apply follow the trend formula. Pardon me. Are you seeing it now? Are you seeing it now? Now, let's go. We are still moving. Let's go to the 5 of F sharp. Let's say after a couple of weeks, we have mastered F sharp, right? What's the 5 of F sharp? C sharp, right? Let's apply follow the trend formula. Let's say we have learned C sharp, mastered it in a couple of weeks based on consistency and practice. Let's go to the 5 of C sharp and learn the new key. There, let's apply follow the trend formula. What's the 5 of C sharp? G sharp, right? Or the one we call the A flat. Now let's go. Let's apply follow the trend formula. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it now? Now, let's go to the 5 of A flat. We want to learn our new key. Let's say we have mastered A flat in a couple of weeks. We want to learn our new key. Let's apply follow the trend formula now. What's the 5 of A flat? We all know that is what? D sharp. The one we call the E flat, right? Are you seeing it now? That's E flat, right? Now, let's say in a couple of weeks, still based on consistency, we've mastered E flat, right? Let's keep on going. What's the 5 of E flat? We all know that the 5 of E flat is B flat, right? Okay, now let's apply follow the trend formula. Let me go again. Now, let's say in a couple of weeks, we've mastered B flat, right? I want to go to the next key. What's the 5 of B flat? F, right? Here's the 5 of B flat, as we all know, right? Now, let's go now. Let's apply follow the trend formula. Are you seeing it now? Now, we have mastered F, let's say in a couple of weeks. Let's apply follow the trend formula now to master the new key. What do you realize? What's the 5 of F? What's the 5 of F? You see what just happened? We are back to the key in which what? we started from. Our previous journey began from C, and C we return to. So, are you seeing it? We've what? Mastered all 12 keys by using this formula. So please, guys, the journey towards progress is not it's not an easy one, because you see, it requires lots of sacrifice. When we are talking about sacrifice, we talk about resources. We talk about resources. We talk about sacrifice of time also. Yeah, and another thing that it requires is patience. It's patience, because it's not one that you just. It's not a journey you arrive so quickly. You see a person who is playing all the crazy stuffs, doing very well in all 12 keys, very free at all keys. It never took the person 1 week or 1 month or 2 months or 6 months to achieve that skill. It's something that has been built over decades, over years. I who's maneuvering 12 keys today, I was once like that, you know. There was a time that the practice was so frustrating, because I mean, imagine every day practicing a major scale on daily basis. It's not an easy one. Practicing, failing, correcting mistakes, practicing, failing, correcting. It's not easy, but you've got to practice. You have no choice. You have no choice. So I would suggest that we try to be patient with ourselves, and just keep on practicing. Yeah, we keep on practicing. I mean, with this formula, I believe it will help us to fight boredom.